What tiny random act of kindness do you perform to make someone else happy? I listen. No matter what they're talking about, I make sure to listen to every word. I struggle with this. I usually start thinking of my response way too soon and miss some crucial info. Duck my brain. Look up active listening. It is weird that we are never really taught how to listen properly. When you start doing it, you will see how much it positively affects people and how much they notice it. That's my secret why everyone loves me. I just learned how to listen. When I'm making a big shopping in a supermarket, I'll let people with 1 or 2 items skip the queue. Now we will. A few days ago a ratty looking fella, no mask eating in line, said I want to go before you. And I have a gun. I have very poor hearing, so I had no idea what he said. So I step right up to him and say, begging your pardon. He just chews on, looking off into the distance. My wife asks me if I'm crazy. Was this in the US? I cannot imagine this happening anywhere else, lol, no shade. Just do not know anybody who carries a gun. Northern Colorado. I told the checkout manager and the on-site security guard. There was cop driving by. So good response time. We have had so many mass shootings. I wanted to be sure I overreacted. One of my classmates was stressed and crying because she was the group leader of around 15 students and shit kept going wrong. I drew a chubby dragon and wrote rawr, do not be sad, and passed it to her. A few days later I noticed that she put it in her clear phone case. That is really sweet. Actually, it reminds me of something someone did for me in middle school. I always took school very seriously, and it was super important to get good grades in my family. There was some geography pop quiz I did really badly on. I think it had a low point value, and I missed something and forgot to write my name, so I got a point off for that or something. Anyway, I was just crying at my desk when a girl named Sierra, who was much more popular than I was and we normally never crossed paths, tapped my back and handed me a note. It said it is going to be okay with a smiley on it. I know it sounds silly, but it had a huge impact on me, and I will always remember that gesture when it felt like everything was so overwhelming. This quiz was honestly very small in the scheme of things, but I will never ever forget her going out of her way to do that when I felt so low and afraid. I'm sure she does not remember, but just the other day I was reminded of it, and it warmed my heart again. Just a totally selfless action for me. I will always be grateful for it. I kept that note for a long time before I lost it. Got a basket of food and drinks on my front porch for delivery drivers to take. Costs maybe $50 every few months to keep it stocked, which is totally worth it. Ever having a whole take it all? Surprisingly no. We have a ring camera right above it, so that may deter folks. Leave room for polite drivers to merge. On behalf of humanity, I would like to give you this Medal of Honor for being you. I hear that person uses their blinker before merging and waits for enough space to do so. You are one of the few. Merging. Polite driver. Small compliments to random strangers. Things like that a sick hat, or I wish I had shoes like that. I try to give at least one compliment every day. It might be making sure a cow or caress hard work does not go unnoticed. Or maybe it is just letting a grocery store cashier know that I like her purple hair. It always makes my day when I'm the recipient of a compliment. And it is super easy to give someone else that same feeling. I like to tell customer service employees they're doing a good job, particularly when I sense they're busy or having a bad day. I had customers who treated me like this when I was in customer service job, and it always made my day better. Most of my working life has revolved around working in customer service one way or another. Waiter, retail, call centers, done it all. I have tons of patience for workers in those roles. It is quite fun when you are on the phone to a call center hearing the advisor apologizing for the delay or hold music or whatever, and I'll let them know it does not bother me and that I worked in a call center too, so I get it. Need to put me on hold for 20 minutes while you hunt through my account. As long as it is a free phone number, then fill your boots. I will put you on speakerphone, so give me a shout when you are done. Their demeanor totally changes. I also always make a note to call them by their name. Thank them for their time, help, and wish them a good remainder of their shift. I just remind myself, how would I want a customer to be on the phone to me? It costs me literally nothing to do and can potentially benefit and maybe uplift someone who is having a shitty day. There is really no downside or any real reason to not do it. And in the vast majority of cases I find they tend to go above and beyond for me too. So win-win. Life is too short and hard enough without getting unnecessarily upset and angry over stuff like this. Calling a customer service rep by their name seems to instantly put you on a different level with them. I always do it and it almost always works out to my satisfaction. Ha ha ha, I'm probably the weirdo here, but I hated it when customers called me by my name when I worked retail. For me, it was like, yeah, we are not that close. You can call me Mr. Swordsman. I am a barista at Starbucks. I lines buy someone's coffee in the drive-thru and say it was the person in front of them. Most of the time that person then wants to do the same thing for the person behind them. I then noticed that 15 is usually the cutoff. I recently had the chance to pay for the groceries of an elderly lady behind me at the grocery store, put her stuff in bags for her, then went ahead and paid for the elderly gentleman behind her as well. I have had very tough few years, but that day I had enough for myself and to be able to help two strangers who seemed like they could use the help. I felt such an overwhelming wave of gratitude that I sat and cried in my car. You're a beautiful soul. Thank you for the kind words. It makes me so happy to help random strangers in small ways, so I feel like I'm getting the benefit. A few weeks ago a friend from uni that I have not spoken to in a long time sent me a message on WhatsApp asking me how I'm doing. He did not need anything or wanted to ask me something or even wanted to arrange a meeting. We live in different cities now, so it is impractical. He just wanted to know how I'm doing and have a little chat. It sounds stupid, but it totally made my day. Sometimes we let old relationships go just because we have no reason to get in touch. Getting in touch is reason in itself, and it can totally make someone so happy. Wait, for real. I get scared that people are too busy, so they get annoyed someone is using their time. Are most people like this? I'd love to hear from someone with whom I've lost touch over time for no reason. I think our lines do that tomorrow. Twice per year, I take my elderly neighbor to the cemetery to visit his grave. She uses a walker and needs help navigating. It is very meaningful for her to be there on Memorial Day. He was a vet, and on the day of his death, it makes her happy and tearful when we place flowers at his monument and reflect on their lives together. This comment is worded as if you bring someone to visit their own grave. Power move. Tell me again. What is going to happen if you ever stop giving me 5 on my birthday? My housemate is currently working a 6-day-a-week job, during which she leaves for work before I have gotten out of bed in the morning and does not get home until long after I have settled down for the night. She is also studying for a master's at the same time and is also trying to manage a long-distance relationship. I cannot do her job for her, or her master's, or maintain her relationship, but I can do her washing up for her when she is trying to balance the other 3. You are a good person, and she appreciates it more than you know. I'm an artist. I'm pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. I use my art as part of my mindfulness practice. Mental health. One thing I do is make custom greeting cards. Hand-drawn stuff. I make a lot of them, so every couple months, I package up a few sets and give them to my neighbors or send them to random friends. Getting nice surprises in the mail is always nice. I also crank out about 40 Christmas cards to send out. That's honestly really sweet. I just try to help out when I can. Recently I was able to calm down a kid going into the doctor's office. He was like 8 years old maybe, and about to get his first blood test. Kid was in hysterics. I told him I had to go in all the time for pregnancy, and said there are tricks to make it hurt less, and asked him some questions about his arms and what he uses them for, then finally told him to offer up his left arm, because that's the good one, since he is right-handed. Everything I said was nonsense, but giving him a feeling of control in a scary situation calmed him down quite a bit. That's really nice of you. I'm sure their parents really appreciated you doing that. His dad was happy about it. He was just beside himself trying to convince this child that blood draws do not hurt. I appreciate the same when people can calm my son down as well. Sometimes it helps just to have an outsider's voice. Compliment strangers. A simple compliment could boost someone's confidence. My self-confidence was in the gutter in high school. After I graduated, I started going to the gym every day, taking supplements, planning my diet, etc. Once the compliments from strangers started rolling in, it made me feel amazing, and it kept me going to the gym even on days where I wanted to play games all day. It is really motivating and does brighten someone's entire day. Compliments. I love to give compliments. They are totally free and take no time, and it almost always makes the person happy. I like your coat, or you have an amazing complexion, or your outfit is bomb can really go the distance, I find. I don't even know when I started doing it, and maybe it's a little selfish because I like giving the compliments. But damn man, there is just something about a stranger's eyes lighting up when they realize you've said something nice. Especially men. Dudes always think they misheard me at first when I say something nice to them in like a line or elevator. Such a bummer. Give the people in your life compliments, but only if you mean them. People love jokes. It is easy to keep stocked up on new ones. A simple joke always lightens mood and sets a nice tone for the rest of the day. Yes, jokes are a great icebreaker. Thank them after they've done something for me, however small the act was. I give a big smile to parents that are clearly going through it with a stroppy child. If I can make eye contact with the child, I give them the look that I use in my classroom to silence an unruly student without having to interrupt the lesson. It is based on my grandmother's patented, if you know what is good for you, you will knock off the shit right the duck now stare, and is pretty damned effective. In our house we called it the stop that crying, or I will give you something to cry about. Just a really solid blowjob. I second this. Sloppy seconds. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.